I'd like to welcome y'all to Secrets from the South. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with my co-host Terri. Now you'll quickly catch on that we don't sound like the man on the 6 o'clock news. We talk a little slower and we've got a southern drawl. But nonetheless, we've got a great podcast lined up just for you. We'll bring you some interesting stories. They're sometimes crazy and a little unbelievable, but it would be just plain impolite not to share them. So get yourself comfortable. Find some southern charm in a glass of iced tea and enjoy. All right, Terri, I'm been out of shape this morning.
Why?
Well, me and you just went and ate.
Yeah.
Bought the same thing.
Yeah.
I get back to the table and I notice I got a discount and you didn't. Now, normally I'd be tickled to death that Scotty Ray then got a discount.
Well, what'd you get a discount for?
Senior citizen.
You're kidding me.
They didn't ask me either.
They just gave you a discount?
Yeah.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it says I'm old.
I guess it does. Do you think we're getting old?
Nah. So sit back and enjoy this week's podcast titled Father Time. So tell me, is it just pick on Scotty Ray week or what?
No, I'm just saying that that's a good thing that you got the discount. I know it's upsetting that you got it because of the senior discount. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get the discount.
She didn't even blink at me. You didn't notice that at the counter?
Well, I mean, I just assume you got the same thing that I got. In terms of, we got the same item, it was the same cost. I didn't realize you got a discount.
Yeah, I sure did.
Well, I guess at some point you'll probably think it's a good thing, but I can see how it hurts your feelings now because it's acknowledging that we're getting older. I don't feel old, do you?
No, I don't. I remember when I was about 23, somebody told me I was 48, and boy, what I look like now.
Well, I don't know, but I do know that it took you a little bit of time to get up the stairs to the studio.
Well, they're steeper than they used to be. You didn't notice that?
No, they kind of look the same to me. But it did take you a while to get up there.
You know, and this happens to everybody. You start noticing little things. And it primarily starts somewhere around the age of 25. Things, you know, it does start early.
It does. And I thought I read an article that said you start aging when you hit 25. Think about that.
Yeah.
I never felt like that at 25. I never felt like that at 35.
So you fist to tell your age?
No way, Jose.
So I thought it was fist to slip.
No. But I do know that the things that I used to take for granted, the things that I made fun of, you know, I feel like to some degree I'm there.
You're that person now, aren't you?
I am that person, and I don't like it. I mean, it's like you take for granted that you don't have to put moisturizer on your face at night and first thing in the morning. And your neck. You know, that's the part is I get up, you know, and I shuffle into the bathroom, and I look at the mirror, and I go, ugh, who is that person?
You're telling me you honestly have to put lotion on your stuff every day?
Yeah, you have to put lotion on your face, and then you have to put lotion in the morning. I mean, put moisturizer on because you're trying to do anything that you can, any kind of miracle drug that's out there, and believe me, I've looked, that will decrease the wrinkles around your eyes, the wrinkles underneath your chin, you know, around your neck. I mean, you see things, and it's almost like it just happens overnight. You wake up, and you just go, who is this person? What happened to me?
Yeah, no, I have to agree that I'll walk by and I'll go, yeah, I don't look like the way I used to. And it's shocking sometimes.
It's a harsh reality.
But it's going to happen to everybody.
It is, but we just don't expect it to happen to us.
Yeah, because you feel like you're the exception.
Well, I just remember when I would play tennis with my tennis buddies 10, 15 years ago, and again, I consider us very competitive. This is not recreational tennis. And I'd get out there, and I would think, oh my, now some of them were older than me, but I would think, oh my gosh. I mean, it would take them forever to warm up and put all kinds of, you know, bandages and braces and things like that on just so that they could play. And once they got going, I mean, they were good. And then all of a sudden, you are where they were. I put a knee brace on. And then, you got to stretch, and and then I noticed that there's some buddies that I play tennis with every week, and I can't tell you, it is a very competitive bunch. And I want to say I think it's high-quality tennis.
Any of them you want to say looks older than the other one?
Oh, no, I wouldn't dare go there. But I will tell you this. I find it kind of humorous that once we finish playing, there's about 5 or 10 minutes that is taken up by us talking about our ailments. I mean, really, hey, well, you never did tell me, how's your elbow doing? How's your arm doing? How's your knee? How's your leg?
It's like sitting in the doctor's office and listening to two old people over in the corner talk about why they're there, and this one hurts more than that one. You ever been in that?
Yeah, they're trying to outdo one another.
Right.
But, that is a harsh reality that when you're in your 40s and 50s, and as people get older, that it takes a lot of darn work to try to look good.
Yeah, and then there's somebody worried about a stretch mark from being pregnant.
Yeah, and then you walk by and, you're trying to wear a shoe. You kind of get to that point where you're out of the stiletto look.
Oh, so you notice ugly feet, too. I'm not the only one.
I'm not saying ugly feet, but I'm just saying that you grow out of that, and you still want to look young and vivacious, but then that comfort creeps in too, and you want a combination of stylish and comfort. And sometimes you're lucky and you find something, and sometimes you got to compromise. Are you going for style and it kills your feet, or are you going for comfort? And I'm just saying that I find, and I hate to admit this, the older that I get, you still have pride. You still want to look good. You still want to be stylish. You still want to look good for your age. You're not willing to give up and start wearing matching pants and tops. I got a long ways to go for that. And you want a good-looking shoe, but you start leaning towards comfort, and that's almost concerning.
What you're telling me is you're almost ready to be in sweatpants year-round.
Hey, don't knock sweatpants. Sweatpants are comfortable. But if you do see me in sweatpant material, like I said, like a lavender pair of sweatpants with a lavender sweatpant top with embroidery on it, somebody needs to come take me to the nut house.
So is that why the old guys when I was young used to wear, you remember the men that used to wear their belt like up to their belly button, have their belt around? Was it comfort? Is that why they done that?
I think it was just no style. That's why they did it.
Of course, we've been asking folks to submit comments at secretsfromthesouth.com, and we got one from Jason. And so we dial out, and Jason, where are you at?
I'm out here in West Texas, Scotty Ray. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing good. So this week's subject is about how you know when you're getting old. What signs do you get? And in your email, you indicated that, you had some.
I do. I got 3 boys, and I'll sit there and talk to them, and they think they're thinking it's funny to relate something to me that they've done that maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Being a little bit outlawish, and the surprised look that they get on their face when I say, I remember doing that when I was your age. They don't think I had any kind of life. No, Dad wasn't just all straight-laced his entire life. I've done some of the same foolishness that y'all have done, but when I knew, like the day that I realized, and I'll never forget it was the 4th of July. I was 40 or 41 years old. Whenever 4th of July would roll around, back when both of my wife's parents were still with us, they would have a huge 4th of July gathering. And if everybody was there, you're talking about upwards of 70 people. And every 4th of July, in the little pasture right next to their house would be a softball game. I got in there playing with the kids. They're pretty much all younger than me. They threw the softball up there, and I hit a little looper, I think, in the left field. And, of course, they're all cheering for their uncle. Yeah, Uncle Jake. And I'm sort of just a little better than a half trot down to first, and I see them kind of lollygagging with this ball out there in left, so about 3 strides before I touched first base, I turned it on, and I'm headed to second. So I'm fixing to show them something, And, man, they picked the pace up, and they almost threw me out, but they did not. I jumped and slid head first into second. And, of course, they're all cheering, yay, all right, yay, safe. And then I just laid there. Could not get up. They're all looking at me, and they're like, Uncle Jay? And I'm like, just give me a minute. I'll be all right.
So at that point, you realized, I'm getting old.
I did. For those of y'all that don't know, that are listening, your body's going to reach a point where it can't take it no more. Now, in your mind, you think you can take it, but your body's going to let you know right quick, no, son, you need to dial this back.
Well, Jason, we appreciate you sending us an email. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Scotty Ray. Good talking to you, buddy.
But, have you thought about the things that we take for granted are, like your eyesight?
Oh, yeah, I could read a computer screen perfect about 8 years ago, and I wake up one morning and it's blurry, and I think my screen needs adjusting. But no, it was me.
I had the same thing. I would be in a meeting, and I would go, the projector is out of focus. And then finally somebody had the heart to say, the projector is fine. They didn't tell it that it was me, but in reality, that's what they were saying. And so I finally went, this is, for years, the corporation that I worked for did an annual eye exam for all employees, and I would just blow through it. I mean, I probably was a little bit, not cocky, but confident.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 20/20 vision, and I knew it. I mean, I had a really good vision. And that goes away the older that you are, and you think that it's not going to happen to you. You go to a restaurant and you see people with their, their reading glasses on, or they got the menu about, as far as they can extend their arms so they can see that, and you go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that's not me. And then you wake up one morning and it is you. You're the one running around the house trying to figure out where your reading glasses are because you can't see a darn thing.
That's like being at a restaurant. I'll end up tipping in cash because I can't read the receipt. All I know is I can get my name at the bottom of it. I can't see the tip line, any of that kind of stuff, and I just scribble and hand them a 20 and go.
Well, think about how often you spend looking for your eyeglasses.
Oh, girl, you ain't never lied. Now, I have reached that point where I go ahead and get the value pack, and I scatter them as many places as I can. So in case I'm lost, I have extra pair.
Well,
now let me try to make myself feel good. I'm at a 1.5. Where are you at?
I think I'm probably at the same thing. In fact, I've used your 10 pair that you've got sitting up here many a day when I forgot to bring my own. Imagine that. So, but I mean, it's the slow progression of age that you start to see. You didn't have the first wrinkle. You didn't have the first body ache. Your eyesight was good.
That first gray hair that you notice. Some people get them earlier than others now.
That's true.
And then,
at an early age.
And then some people start losing their hair.
Even women. I mean, even women now are losing their hair, and I can't imagine. And I'm not talking about people that have been going through chemotherapy or something like that, where unfortunately, and I can't imagine how dramatic that is to lose your hair, but I'm just saying that whatever is going on with, the atmosphere or whatever it is, now you find more and more women. And maybe we're vain, and I'll admit that. But dang, we still want to be young. We still want to have tons of energy, and it's just a harsh reality.
So that really, and where my mind is going here, of you always see it where you've got the more distinguished, let me put it that, gentleman with the 20-year-old, the 25-year-old.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah, sugar daddy there. And probably he's traded in, got him a new model, hadn't he?
Well, you know what that's doing, in my mind, is that 20-year-old makes him feel young. So that tells you that it's not just limited to women that really want to fight that battle of aging. It's men, too. But the unfortunate thing is, for the most part, and I really hate this, is that men are viewed as distinguished.
See, that's why I use that word.
And they take on a whole different look, whereas a woman, I don't know that you go around and say, well, she looks distinguished looking. We're more critical of women.
I have noticed this. the richer he is, the hotter she is. Have you noticed that too?
Oh, yeah. I can't imagine why.
But you seldom see, and maybe it happens, and it's just my little country bumpkin stuff don't get out enough to notice it. Is there such thing as a rich woman? What do they call a rich woman with a young, is it cougar? What do they?
Yeah, a cougar.
Does that happen? Because
yeah.
I just don't see it much.
Yeah, it does.
How do I get in on that?
Well, let's see. I don't know. I don't know that I know any available cougars.
I'm old, is what you're telling me.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't think, honestly, Scotty, I don't think we are old. I think the reality is that we're getting old. And, you know, I know one thing. I'm fighting it tooth and nail.
And then you start noticing, if you'll remember back, things your parents used to say, and then all of a sudden you're in that same position they were, and you're like, whoa.
Or there's a thing on there that says you may be getting old if you don't know who, you know, in terms of musical artists or in the top 10. I couldn't tell you. And I have a great list of artists in different genres that I listen to. But I don't know who half these people are now.
And as you know, from my past, I was in radio, and I could see it coming that I was going to be. If you'll remember, Hank Williams Jr. back in about '87 had a song called "Young Country," and the video starts out with two old men going, "That ain't country," and they were just arguing about the acts being not what they understood. Well, I'm that guy now because that crap I listen to is like Greek to me. It's bro country, and that ain't country. Do you feel me?
Yeah, I feel exactly where you're coming from.
Like right now, folks, I promise you, Michael Jackson is more country than 98% of anything on a country radio station. Kid you not.
Well, and another thing is, have you noticed that your kids or grandkids, for some people, they talk a different language?
Oh, yeah, I don't get all of that.
And I mean, the other day, this just this past weekend, my daughter came home from college. She's been up there for this summer. She came home for a night. She had to go to an event, and she went with two other buddies. Well, actually, three other buddies, and two of them came back home with her, and they came in, and they were all laughing and cutting up with my husband and I. But they said something, and I'm not even going to repeat it because I don't even know how to repeat it like they said it. It would be another thing that would draw embarrassment to my daughter, like, golly, you can't even say it right. And I had no idea
what she meant.
What she meant by that. I mean, I feel so out of touch in a way, but I don't know. It's just, how did this happen? I mean, I felt like one day I was young, and the next day it's like, what happened to me? All
right, when's the last time you were in the doctor's office and you pick up the magazine that's on that little stand in between you and the next person, and you know who's on the cover? I mean, who are these people?
Well, the other thing is sometimes it's to the other extreme, and I do feel young, is when you pick up something that's about gardening or, you know, I mean, I can take a little bit of that with a grain of salt, and I love working out in the yard, but it's just, and our taste change. You know, the things that we liked when we were younger are different than we are at the age that we're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved going to parties, getting involved and doing things and being seen. And I'm really a night owl and staying out all hours of the night. And now I've noticed that that has shifted some.
Yeah.
I just wonder at what age we're going to be comfortable saying, okay, I'm there. But I'm not there yet. But then I look at myself and I go, you're getting there.
You know, like,
getting there.
I'm already to that age to where if it happens past 9 o'clock, I know nothing about it. And I don't care to know about see, I don't even know who took Jay Leno's place because I've never been up that way.
See, that's the comforting thing with growing old. I think you nailed it. And that is when you said, I don't care.
And I don't.
You know, right now, I think I'm hanging on to I care, I don't care. It's a battle between the two. And some days I care, and I care a lot, and some days I just don't give a darn.
Wait a minute, I just remembered that. Jimmy Kimmel, does he do something at night?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know what, but I've heard his name.
Yeah.
See, he was back doing the Trampoline Girls the last time I heard of him.
Trampoline Girls?
You know, back when he was on The Man Show. And
okay.
They had the girls on the tramp.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Okay, all right, nobody else enjoyed that like I did.
So when you get a senior citizen discount or get your AARP card, I guess you ought to be happy you're getting those discounts, but it's a harsh reality. I tell you another thing is, you know, when you would...
Oh, you're showing up to Sam's early at the 6 a.m. hour, huh? Is that what you're telling me?
No. But, like when you would get carded for a variety of things, like, whatever it is.
Beer is what you're thinking.
But, now nobody even blinks an eye.
No, they do not.
And they haven't for, a while now. Just to admit it and be honest. But
so when's the last time you went for a drive? Say it's supper time and you need to go get, you've run out of tea, nobody can make it. You need to go get a jug of tea or maybe some orange juice, something from the local store. And it's at dusk dark, and you pull up to the stop sign, and you can't really determine how far off that car is because you can't see it good anymore. Your judgment of distance at night starts fading away.
Okay,
has that happened?
Yeah, but you are really still, in the grand scheme of things, you're still young, even though your body is arguing and saying differently, and even though we've got the wear and tear of, you got the wrinkles, and we've all got the signs that we are aging. And again, it's alarming to know that your body is matured by the age of 25. And any time going forward, you will start showing signs. That's just unbelievable. But can you imagine somebody, when you talk about that, your judgment may not be good at your age. Now, we're not going to say what age you are, but in my mind, that is young. But if you asked a teenager, they would think that we were ancient. Yeah. But can you imagine these 80 and 90-year-old people that are driving? They run into a building because they hit the gas instead of putting on the brakes.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's old. We're not old. I go play tennis, and the next day, it's like I'm already telling people I can't play 3 days in a row. I just can't do it. My knee can't take it.
You're getting old when before you go do it, you go ahead and take 3 Advils before you get there.
Listen. You laugh, but Wednesday I get out on the court, and my hip is already bothering me, and I probably hadn't swung maybe I played 1 game, and I'm popping 2 Advil while I'm out there.
Should I take this wrong? Because you've been working on our first sponsor for our podcast here, and you've been chasing Depends. Am I trying to get something out of this?
Hey, I'm not at the Depends age yet, and I hope that I won't be, but I guess if I am, I will be the one that can take the long trip and never complain.
Yes, you could, couldn't you? There's some good in everything.
I'm telling you, and that's where we need to say it's like that fight that you have where I care and I don't care. But right now, the part of me that cares a lot, and it's tough realizing that you're getting older.
So, what is the signs that you're getting old? What are some of the things that pop up that people go, and makes you think, well, maybe I'm tadly getting old?
Well, I've heard that one of the signs is when you can't remember people's name.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know what? I haven't been able to remember somebody's name for the last 10, 15 years.
So that's nothing new.
Well, and then the other one is that you spend an awful lot of time trying to figure out where your glasses are. And I can tell you, I do. I have 2 pair in my house, and I probably spend, in grand total of one day, I probably spend an hour trying to find 1 pair. Because think about it. The things that you have to read now, and that's another thing. It's so awful that, the baby boomers, it's the biggest generation there is.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And you've got medicine that you get that has that little fold-out description and instructions.
I got one.
That thing is so freaking tiny. I don't see how anybody can read it that is a 20-year-old.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way to do that.
And then trying to open up a jar of pickles. It's darn near impossible to get it open.
But you think about somebody, and all jokes aside, you think how hard that is for somebody that doesn't have that strength anymore. Because they put them suckers on pretty good, don't they?
Oh, they do. Or that it takes you a long time to get out of bed.
It's kind of like warming up a car.
And, now they have the darn chairs. And believe me, we are nowhere near that, so don't even think it. But those chairs will pretty much eject you out.
Oh, those lift chairs.
Yes.
Have you had moved to or thought about putting that thing in your house there? You ride the side of the stair all the way up, have
Well,
you?
I don't have, no, but you should, because it took you forever to get up the stairs to the studio. I will tell you one thing that we made an investment in several years ago. And
it's not that tub, is it?
No, but I like that tub. Where you open the door and get in?
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I really like that tub.
Dog, I thought I had you.
Because I have a soaking tub. And that sucker is wonderful to get in. but it is a pain in the butt trying to get in and out of that thing.
Have you slipped yet?
No, but I mean, it really is. It does kind of prey on your mind about making sure you're going to get out safely. But that wasn't what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that, my husband and I have purchased the geriatric bed where you've got the frame that lifts, the headboard lifts up the footboard.
Have y'all got it where separate sides where you can do your thing, he can do his thing?
No, it's all or nothing that we have, but we even have it where it does, you can hit a button and it goes to TV mode. It's supposed to give you a massage. I mean,
so you got a vibrating bed is what you're telling me.
Got a vibrating bed.
Oh my gosh, Terri.
I mean, and I hate to say that, and I call it the geriatric bed, with all my buddies, and we laugh about it and all that, but I really love that thing.
So at what age is it that you're so old that people don't even point out things to you anymore? Makes me wonder. I sent you a text this week. You remember that?
Yes, you did.
I had gone to work on one of my other home that I've got in a few counties away, and I wore my shirt inside out all day, and nobody said a word to me about it. So does that mean I'm just too old? They just say, it wouldn't do any good?
They probably thought, they said, look at that poor guy. They said, he doesn't even know where he is.
I didn't notice that till I was halfway home, and I looked up in the rearview mirror to look at something, and my shirt looked real funny. You know where your collar is?
Yeah.
I thought, what is that? And I leaned to the mirror, and I thought, oh, my gosh. I had no idea.
Did it bother you?
It did then, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't like being an idiot.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, what do we do? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what we can do to kind of stop the aging process.
Terri, if you don't mind, I think we've got just enough time to have another caller on with us. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Let's go to the phone lines and speak with Ann. And Ann, are you there?
I am. How are y'all?
We're good.
So have you gotten to that point in your life where you go, I might be getting old?
There's so many stories, really. It's like almost on a daily basis, things start happening where you're reminded that you're getting old. But the first time I really realized it was I was a school nurse. I'm retired now, but anyway, it was the last, few years, and I was shopping, and I saw a child, one of my students, that was a second grader, I think, in school. Anyway, and she runs, she goes, oh, look, Mama, there's my school nurse. And the mother looked at me and she went, I know, she was mine too.
Oh, no.
And that's when I first started realizing, oh gosh, I'm having babies now. I'm nursing babies through school. And now it's every day. I wake up every freaking morning and there's something else that hurts. And you go, what did I do during the night?
Do you still see yourself or do you think of yourself as young, but then we're almost on the cusp of being old? It's like a fight between yourself where you feel young and you feel old.
It's your mind and your body. Your mind thinks you're young, but your body goes, oh, no, you're not. But then you reach a point where you just say, God, if I can walk, I promise I won't do anything else other than that. I'll just walk.
Thinking back on your life as you go back, do you remember being back in your 30s thinking, man, I feel old, and now you look at that and think, boy, that was stupid?
Oh, yes. Well, when you remember your parents turning 50 and you go, oh, my gosh, they are so old. Look at them. Bless their hearts. Your mind fools with you all the time because it tells you you're young, you're cute, you're pretty, you're sexy, and you're not. You're really not.
We hope you enjoyed our podcast and will continue to listen more. We promise to provide stories that intrigue you, provide a little humor, reflect our heritage and culture, whether it's strange and alarming. Please leave us a review and let us know how we're doing. Let us know whether you liked or disliked. Do you have a story to share? If so, we'd like to hear from you. Please email us at comments@secretsfromthesouth.com and provide a brief description of your story along with contact information, and we'll be in touch. Until next time, well, you know a secret? Well, you've got some aches and pains to discuss with your friends.